Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope we're all well and thank you very much for tuning in. I'm sure 99% of you are now aware of the announcement of Microsoft's new version of Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. And in this video, I wanted to first talk about the reaction to this announcement and then move on to a more positive discussion regarding what could be to come in the new version of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And what a reaction it was. I don't think I've seen a reaction quite like this one in pretty much the last 18 years I've been in the PC gaming community. I've seen so many questions, negative comments, and just general unenthusiasm for this, and I really can understand why. When the current version of Microsoft Flight Simulator released in 2020, the release came with some groundbreaking features that we have all come to love, but a lot of these features have come with a quite heavy reliance on server-side support. No longer was Flight Sim an application you could run and be content in the fact that if support was pulled on the back end, you could continue using the product you enjoy. Microsoft have mentioned on a number of occasions that they plan to support what everybody thought was the current version of Microsoft Flight Simulator for 10 years. And as a result, I think a lot of users, myself included, have confidently invested in many add-ons or DLCs with this in mind. So with this surprise announcement clearly stating this is a completely new standalone version of the sim, what does this 10 years of support actually mean? Does it mean 10 years of support for the current 2020 release of Microsoft Flight Simulator, or the franchise as a whole? And I think given this announcement, I think the latter is probably the more likely scenario. Let me know what you think to this down in the comments. What about your current add-ons then? Well, in the last few hours, Microsoft have confirmed in a Q&A there will be some backward compatibility and most add-ons should work with the new version of the sim. Which is great to hear, and I think this will put some people's minds at ease. A link to this short Q&A is in the video description. You can also see in this article they state they will continue to support the existing roadmap for the current version of Microsoft Flight Simulator after the launch of 2024. How long though for is still up for debate. I think Microsoft would have done well here though to stick a couple of text slides at some point in the trailer noting this, and I can only imagine the community reaction would have been so much different. Even posting on their blog or elsewhere in synchronization with the trailer release would have been smart in my opinion. That all being said though, I think it is also important to remember that releasing a new major version of not only Flight Sim but any gaming title every few years is nothing new. Microsoft Flight Simulator historically has done this as well as other flight sims like Prepared and X-Plane. Whilst we all like to call this quote-unquote a simulator, it is still a gaming title for entertainment purposes at the end of the day, and many other gaming franchises release major versions every few years without most people batting an eyelid. And now that backwards compatibility has been ensured for the most part, I think we can all start to get excited about what this new simulator will be. So next, let's break down the trailer and take a look at some things that really got me personally very excited. First of all, I'll mention that I have seen a couple of third-party devs come forward and make a comment on the content you see in the trailer, and they have said that everything you see in there is new content. They haven't been approached to use their add-ons in the new sim or anything like that. So everything you see here is new, which is pretty exciting in of itself. So let's have a look at what we have in store then. First of all, we have pursue your dream of a career in aviation. So this is pretty exciting to think about how this will be implemented. Will these be singular missions we can carry out, or will this be various different storylines we can follow in the sim? Or maybe even an open world type scenario where we can receive different missions based on current events in the sim universe. I've personally stayed away from doing a lot of the so-called challenges or various career mode type add-ons we've had so far, mainly because I like to simulate real-world aviation, but I have to say I'm very intrigued to see whether or not Microsoft will take your average career mode and give us something really unique for this sim. Next, we have some quite mind-blowing shots of some incredible fire, smoke and water effects. And one thing that really took my eye here as well was the trees. It looks like we have proper 3D trees incoming with this next version of the sim, which also appear to react accordingly to the turbulent air around your aircraft, which is very cool to see. The next few shots could have easily been from the current version of the sim, but then we have an animated person walking out to a helicopter. Microsoft have said in the past they would like for us to be able to get out of our aircraft and walk around the world. Is this what we're seeing here? This next shot appears to be Bilbao Airport in Spain. Fantastic approach, by the way, highly recommend it. Where we get our first glimpse at airliner operations in the new sim. There's a lot to unpack in this one. First, the ground textures look so much better than in the current sim. Ground markings are super crisp and the rain effects and puddles look far more realistic. And the look to the ground looks totally different as well, where we have concrete slabs, it's nice and smooth. Whereas in the current version, everything sort of looks like it's some kind of asphalt. Also very exciting is the fact there appears to be a new aircraft here. There appears to be an A330-200 on the left of the frame here. You can tell this by the window gap after the second service door, along with a little glimpse of those long Trent 700 engines. And this next shot here, we do get a better angle on the A330, where you can clearly see the Trent 700s. We can also see how detailed this airport scenery is too. The anti-aliasing and general appearance of sharp lines in the sim look much improved too. Some great animations in the foreground. And moving on to the next shot, again we get a look at someone walking in towards an aircraft. It's really starting to look much more like this third person mode could be a feature in the new sim. This is not the last time we see it in the trailer either. We also see a bunch of new vegetation variety with different tree types and crops. Is this something that will be dependent on scenery packages? Or will this be something that will be generated by the AI in the world? Much like we see currently some AI tech in the current sim, have they now taken this a step further to make the variance to the world even better? The background of the next shot, we can see the rendering of mountains at distance looks to be a bit better. Still not brilliant, but it does look a bit better with some sharper ridgelines there. And we also get a look at some more vegetation reacting to the aircraft. I realise I'm skipping over some of the obvious improvements here, like the missions and the animated characters, etc. But I'm really just trying to pick out things that might not be immediately obvious here in the trailer. That being said, looking at some of the missions we've got here, they do really look quite immersive, with all the different animated characters and objects that we can move around in the sim. It does look really cool. Next up, we see the mighty Airbus Beluga XL. Note, this is the XL variant, which is based on the A330, which further confirms there may be some presence of the A330 in the sim, as well as obviously the Airbus Beluga. It looks to me like the cargo door is operable and the aircraft is usable in whatever career mode is going to be in this sim, which is super exciting to me. You can also see they're putting a bit more attention to detail too into the first-party aircraft this time around. Note the drooping aileron on the right side wing here. Next up, we have the Airbus A400M landing at what could be an Antarctic research station. Again, very cool on both counts. Next, we have another look at a third-person pilot view here doing some VIP transport. Again, third-person mode confirmed. And overall, some very, very cool looking shots. This Tornado looks incredible. I really do wonder if things like this, weather events like this, will be present in the live weather open world too. Next, we have the A10 Warthog flying through what could be the Grand Canyon. I can't help but notice how well rendered this looks here. Again, is this a scenery package, or is this how detailed the world is going to be this time around? We also have a quick look at what appears to be seasons confirmed for the next Sim 2. They glossed over this rather quickly for what is such a big feature. If I slow this down, you can clearly see spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Next up, airships and hot air balloons is a welcome bit of variety to see in the new Sim 2. Does this imply they have further implemented some improved flight modelling to support aircraft like this in the Sim? One would definitely hope so. Along with that, next up we have another good look at some more varied vegetation. And that's it. That wraps up the trailer. I think there is really quite a lot to be excited for here. However, given the fact they have stated Microsoft will continue to support the existing version of the Sim, does this mean this new Sim is not going to have the open world free simulator aspect we are currently enjoying? Given the complete focus on the various mission and career modes in the trailer, that may not be too far from the truth. Though again, why would they go out of the way to allow backwards compatibility if there wasn't going to be some kind of use for these add-ons? This does come across as a little mystifying, and I think many are left wondering what will happen to the current version of the Sim. Will that see some of these improvements to improve the open world experience, leaving this Sim to be a standalone mission-based option? The roadmap does show a number of the improvements we see present in this new version, but the question is, how far will they take this? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me that they would go ahead and carry on adding these pretty large changes to the current version whilst releasing a completely new version of the Sim, unless these were designed to be specifically different use cases. Only time will tell, and with Flight Sim Expo just around the corner and Microsoft in attendance, I don't think it'll be long before we hear more about the future of the flight simulator we have all come to love. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and remember to hit the thumbs up button if you have enjoyed this video. Also consider subscribing for more Microsoft Flight Simulator content and live streams. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.
Play it day one with Game Pass.